So I'm currently in the process of packing up. I'm honestly almost done with the process of packing up, and it's crazy to look around my dorm, see empty. The vast majority of my stuff has already been taken out. The kitchen is basically empty except for donations. My bed is stripped from its bedding. I won't even be sleeping on bedding tonight because it didn't make sense, as I have to wake up at 4 a.m. for my flight anyways. It's crazy to look around the place that has been my home for the last 9 months and see the curtains return to the original rather than the ones that I brought from home, or looking at my bed without my bedding and the skirt that I put on it. It just looks very bare, the same way as it did ages ago when I moved in. When even in my move-in video, I said how bare and impersonal it felt. I really think that I achieved all that I wanted, which is making it a lot more personal, a lot more customized, a lot more fitting for me. However, it is sad to look around this place and to think about how in 3 months it'll be completely different. It'll be taken over by a complete stranger. I don't know who live here. It's been a stressful last few days too, because I've had to keep track of all my belongings, who's taken what I'm taking home, what I'm leaving here, what I'm donating. It's been quite hectic and stressful, so I'm honestly really glad that that's almost over. Even though I will miss Edinburgh so much, I am glad that this stressful part of my life is almost done. And when I'm back in 2-3 months, I'll just have my flat to move into, which is really, really exciting. So it's now been a few weeks since I've come back to Warsaw from Edinburgh, and I've kind of had time to reflect on last year, everything that happened, kind of finish that chapter off, start a new one. Actually, since then, I've been to Edinburgh for like 3 days. I went there because I had to sort some things out with our new flat, get our new keys, make sure everything was okay, make sure that the boxes of all my stuff was going to be transported there, because I left most of my boxes in Edinburgh. I was really, really lucky that one of my friends kept them for the first few weeks that I didn't have my flat yet. It was really stressful, really hectic, really busy, but I'm glad to say that most of the stuff is sorted in that area at least. So I'll be going back to Edinburgh quite soon, actually sooner than I was initially planning, because I'm going to go back, hopefully get a job there. And then I also wanted to be there for the Edinburgh Fringe. I think that will be such a cool experience. I mean, people travel from all over the world to visit Edinburgh during the Fringe. So since I actually have a flat there, I thought it would be such a waste not to be there for that time period, which had its pluses and minuses, I guess. I was actually supposed to be interrailing for a bit of that time too, but I had to cut my trip short. Which honestly isn't the worst thing in the world, as it was my first time interrailing. So maybe going full out on like a month or a month and a half long trip would have been a bit much for me personally. And overall, I am really, really excited to be going back to Edinburgh. I miss it so much. And especially being down in the south of Europe, everything's really hot and horrible. Looking at Edinburgh weather, I was so jealous of the people who were there. So all in all, it's really exciting. And I have seen my new flat, so even though the prospect of leaving student accommodation was a bit daunting, it was a bit sad to leave it after 9 months of living there. My new flat is so lovely, so much nicer than any student accommodation I could have ever lived at. I'm genuinely so happy with the flat that we got. As I said, I did stay there for a few nights and it was an absolute dream, even though I did not have most of my stuff there and I had to like sleep in a hoodie and stuff. No, it's really nice. I'm so excited to go into second year. First year definitely had its moments. It was lovely in general, but definitely had its moments. And I'm very optimistic and excited for year 2. And not even year 2, just like going back to Edinburgh for the summer when I don't have the stress of school and kind of enjoying the city on the one hand as a local but also as a tourist. I love exploring cities, and there's still so much of Edinburgh to see even though I've lived there for a year. So I'm so excited to be going back soon, even though it feels like I just left. So even though this video could be seen as a sad one, I don't think it's sad in any capacity. If anything, it was nice to film my final moments of student accommodation, and student accommodation which I will fondly remember. But my new flat is so nice and it's such an exciting new chapter.